E.N.D here, day 8 for the spoilers of Murders at Karlov Manor. Leave me a comment below. What is your opinion about this set? Honestly, the power creep is real. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start with a red enchantment that I believe will see a lot of play. Expedited inheritance to red enchantment. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, its controller may exile that many cards from the top of their library. They may play those cards until the end of their next turn. Surely it will be a nice add-on to any mono red deck out there. Incinerator of the Guilty 4 and 2 red 6/6. Dragon, Flying Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may collect evidence X. When you do, it deals X damage to each creature and each planeswalker that players controls. 10th District Hero for 1 and 1 white to 3. 1 and 1 white, collect evidence 2. It becomes a human detective with base power and toughness for 4 and gains vigilance. 2 and 1 white, collect evidence 4. If it's a detective, it becomes a legendary creature named Miliva Stalwart Hero with base power and toughness of 5/5, and other creatures you control have indestructible. And that's a nice add-on to any mono white deck out there. Doorkeeper Thrall for 1 and 1 white, 1/2, flash flying. Artifacts and creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Outrageous Robbery X and 2 black, instant. Target opponent exile the top X cards of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. Cryptic Code 2 and 1 blue, artifact equipment, enters the battlefield, cloak the top card of your library, then attach Cryptic Code to it. Equip creature get +1/+0 and can be blocked. For 1 and 1 blue, return Cryptic Code to its owner's hand. Coveted Falcon for 1 and 2 blue, 1/4 flying. Whenever it attacks, gain control of target permanent you own but don't control. Disguise for 1 and 1 blue. When it is turned face up, target opponent gains control of any number of target permanents you control. Draw a card for each one they gain control this way. Yaro's Roar of the Gods, 2/1 red and 1 green. For 4 other creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more face down creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever a face down creature you control dies, if it's a permanent card, return it to the battlefield face down under its owner's control, then turn it face up. Officious Interrogation, 1 white and 1 blue, instant. The spell costs 1 white and 1 blue more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players. Investigate X, where X is the total number of creatures those players control. Detective Satchel for 2 1 blue and 1 red, artifact, enters the battlefield, investigate twice. Tap, create a 1/1 Karlov creature token with flying, activate only if you sacrifice an artifact this turn. Runebrand Juggler for 1 black and 1 red, 2/2, enters the battlefield, suspect up to 1 target creature you control. 3 1 black and 1 red, sacrifice a suspected creature. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Hustle Bustle, one of those flip cards. Hustle, 1 hybrid mana between blue and red, instant. Target creature attacks or blocks this turn if able. Bustle, 4 and 2 hybrid mana between red and green. Sorcery, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. You may turn a creature you control face up. Furtive Courier, 2 and 1 blue, 3/2, can't be blocked as long as you have sacrificed an artifact this turn. Whenever it attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Fey Flight, 1 and 1 blue, enchantment aura, flash, enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, enchanted creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Insidious Rules, 1 black and 1 green, enchantment. Creature tokens you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 green plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. Call a Surprise Witness for 1 and 1 white, sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a flying counter on it. It's a spirit in addition to its other types. Wisp Drinker Vampire, 2 1 white and 1 black, 2/4 flying. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. 5 1 white and 1 black. Creatures you control with power 2 or less gain Death Touch and lifelink until end of turn. Neighborhood Guardian for 1 and 1 white, 2/2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, target creature you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Surveillance Monitor, 3 and 1 blue, 3/3, enters the battlefield. You may collect evidence for. Whenever you collect evidence, create a 1/1 colorless top tier artifact creature token with flying. Evidence Examiner for 1 green and 1 blue, 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may collect evidence for. Whenever you collect evidence, investigate. Lambelling Laundry for 5, for 5, for 2 until end of turn. You may look at face down creatures you don't control anytime. Disguise for 5. Soul Search for 1 white and 1 black. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it. Exile that card. If that card's mana value is 1 or less, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. Case of the Shattered Pet for 2 generic mana enchantment case. When this case enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. To solve it, there are 5 colors among permanents you control. Solved. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains flying, double strike and vigilance until end of turn. Exit Specialist for 1 and 1 blue, 2/1. Can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Disguise for 1 and 1 blue. When it is turned face up, return another target creature to its owner's hand. Rubble-Belled Braggart 4 and 1 red, 5/5. Whenever it attacks, if it's not suspected, you may suspect it. Vengeful Creeper 4 and 1 green, 5/5. Disguise for 5 and 1 green. When it is turned face up, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Sanguine Savior for 1/1 white and 1 black, 2/1. Flying Lifelink. Disguise 2 hybrid mana, white and black. When it is turned face up, another target creature you control gains lifelink until end of turn. So that was the last card in this particular day 8 for the spoilers of Murders at Karlov Manor. Join me again tomorrow because we're going to have more and more spoilers. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.